Dr. Garrett Barton is with us. He is a candidate, an aspiring politician for the 7th Congressional District. That is the Tom Rice district. Now, some of you know him as Tom Rice. Some of you know him as the person who voted to impeach Donald Trump. And I don't think Tom would have a competitor had he not voted to impeach Donald Trump. But Betsy has a problem, as we like to say in the country, and other Republicans have signed up and come after it. And get, Dr. Barton is one of those guys. So good morning, first of all. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having us back on the show.
So what led you? I mean, once again, I want you to, the listeners today may not have been listening the last time you were here. You're a physician.
Yes, sir.
You're a smart man. You seem to be a measured man. Why in the world would you choose to do this?
Well, I would say, over the last year and a half, not just me, but people around our region, around the country, just have this unsettling feeling of the direction we're going. And when we look at who are in our leadership positions, the polls show nobody's really ecstatic about it. Nobody believes that the current situation is the way we need to be going. So for me personally, as a physician in a rural community, people came up to me from out of the woodwork, whether it's in an office visit with a patient saying, we need good people to start getting involved. And that's a problem that we all would agree with is we kind of sit back, we go to work, we love on our family, we take care of everything, we go home and spend time with them. But at the end of the day, this is when other people slip in that may not be best suited for our leadership positions. And so for me personally, being a praying man, a follower of Christ, it was important for me that I weighed my options. The Bible says count the costs. And for me personally, I did that. And I said, you know what? The next generation cannot look, if the last 11 months are any indication of what the future holds for us, that's not something I want for my son. I got a 1-year-old. I got one on the way. Or my family, my neighbors, our country.
So your motivation was not all Rice votes to impeach Trump.
No.
That didn't play into you were motivated by things other than that.
So, yeah, absolutely. Tom Rice, as I had said before, he's just a symptom of the greater problem. I think everyone's just tired of having the same thing, that politician term of someone going up there, you never see your politician or your representative, and it just seems like they go in there with no money and they come back rich. And I think everyone's just tired of it. We're sick of it, and you can only let things like that happen so long before it leaks over into everyone's day-to-day life.
You're from rural America. You've seen some of the devastation. You see the struggle. Mm-hmm. I'm from rural America, and it breaks my heart to see the dire straits and how it or what condition it's in today. I guess it's a weird way to ask this question. Is that what the America First movement is about, and what can Republicans do to place American workers as its priority?
Yeah. So. I feel like coming from a rural area, you get a special perspective about life in general. And whether, our district, District 7, it's very contrast. You got the beach, and then you got the rest of the part of the PD, and there's a lot of small rural communities. And they're consistent of personal small businesses. There's some bigger businesses in there, but a lot of people are running their own show. And when you go downtown, you can even go to places like Florence, but if you go to even further rural, you look at the downtowns and they're just barely hanging on. The windows are boarded up. Sometimes they try to keep the downtown nice. They put a few display items in there just to not make it look run down, but really there's nothing in there.
No economic activity at all.
None. And I think that's a big disservice we're doing to our rural communities. So supporting the rural communities is important. And I think if we continue to focus solely on what does places like LA, New York, big places that they just funnel the dollars in, we're going to lose rural America. And I don't see that being something that's not an American moving forward way, I feel.
Dr. Barton, you got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'll let you just kind of plead with our listeners to be involved in your campaign. You're an underdog. You know that. Mm-hmm. You're a political novice. You know that. But how can people find out more? How can they help? How can you build this army to upset Tom Rice?
Yeah, so as you had mentioned just a second ago, putting America first, I think that is the way we should be going. And people get frustrated with that sometimes on the left. They try to view it as a negative connotation, a word, a labeling. In my opinion, that's absolutely absurd to say that. we should be thinking about how do we put our people, our brothers and sisters, our neighbors in a position to thrive, how to have a better quality of life. And so that means stop shipping our jobs all the way out of the borders. We need to make sure we find ways to lower taxes, stop things like inflation and lying about the current state of our economic position. Inflation is a huge problem. So putting America first is almost like a reset, I feel. And it's us saying, you know what, let's get back to our roots that got us this far in time. And I'm willing to fight for that. It's important to me. Even though I am a physician, sometimes people say, oh, you're kind of an elite. Not really.
Yeah, you're just an educated guy from the country is what you are. I get that. So give us a website, a phone number, and email that people can communicate with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So check us out at bartonforcongress.com. That's our website. You'll see our platform issues. We will be a representative that holds everybody accountable and fight for the people.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. Back in just a minute.